Welcome to Life with Long COVID with me, Paul Clark. It's estimated that around 400 million people are suffering from the effects of what is now called Long COVID globally. There are probably many more people suffering but not able to articulate what is wrong with them. This podcast was started for one reason and one reason only: that those suffering will not feel like they're on their own. Hello and welcome to this latest episode of Life with Long COVID, the podcast hosted by me, Paul Clark, about my life with long COVID, about my experiences, in the hope that I can share it and help others feel like they're not alone. Thank you for all your messages this week. Thank you for your comments. I really do appreciate it. If you fancy commenting on this episode, I'll tell you more at the end. Today, I am joined by my other half in life, Rachel.
Hi, everyone.
More than my other half in life, she's also a therapist. Is that how you would describe yourself?
Yes.
And very appropriate for the topic today, which is thinking about mental health. And this really is, it comes about because... well, there's all sorts of things, the reason why it comes about, but because it's Blue Monday. Is it not Blue Monday or Blue Day, or is it?
The 19th of January will be Blue Monday.
Which is coined by the media as the most depressing day of the year. And also, we thought it'd be good to get Rach in, as always, but she can talk about some things maybe that might help, because it is a particularly difficult type of year, particularly for people with chronic illness, I would say. But we'll get into that in a minute, Rachel. I have to report, dear listeners, that my cold has finally gone. My 5-week cold. Maybe it was 6 weeks. I don't know. I had this cold, and I keep telling people, people talk about man flu. Well, I keep having to explain to people that I've still got a cold. And I think somebody commented that my cold might not be a cold, it might be an immune system response.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so this is not scientific, because I'm not a scientist and I'm not a medical professional, but I do know that there's a thing with histamines that if your body is out of whack and if you've got a low immune system, your system can go into this fight or flight mode, where if you're slightly poorly, then your histamines overproduce and they make you tired and give you cold-like symptoms like sneezing, sore throat, all that kind of stuff.
Well, if I'm here as a therapist, I can say there's ways to get out of fight and flight mode.
Yeah, you can.
Ways to calm your brain and calm your body. So that would have helped you.
Yeah, it would
I didn't realise that.
Well, I don't know if it was. I think what I had was a cold, but the comment was well placed that actually... just because you've got a sore throat, cold-like symptoms, doesn't always mean you've got a cold. Sometimes it means your histamines are going crazy.
Yeah.
And I know that in the past because I've been prescribed antihistamines, different types of antihistamines to try and combat that. So, and I can testify that that is the case sometimes. However, this time was just your good old-fashioned wintry cold that everybody gets. But if you've got chronic illness, it just seems to wipe us out even more. But I'm pleased to say, ladies and gentlemen, that it's gone, so I'm not going to moan about that anymore.
But now it's Blue Monday.
Now it's Blue Monday, and I know I've heard from a few of you that you've been struggling also with illness, and you may be coming up to this back end of January thinking, I feel a bit down about this, actually. So this Blue Monday thing, Rachel, is it for real? Do people really get down on the Monday in January?
So the theory is, it's 3 weeks after New Year's. It's the third Monday after New Year. Everyone's given up on their resolutions.
Yeah.
It's cold, it's miserable, it's dark. You've forgotten all about the joy of Christmas, if you had the joy of Christmas.
Indeed.
And it's just and there's just nothing. It's just a bit of nothingness and depression.
So it's a real thing, right?
Well, someone invented it for marketing purposes.
What, the Blue Monday phrase?
Yeah, they were marketing summer holidays because that will cheer you up. Now, those of you with chronic illness, that might not cheer you up because it's a hassle, as we've spoken before, to go on a summer holiday. But for the general public, it's like, oh, well, don't feel so sad. You can
Come on,
plan
book a
for your holiday. So the first thing to say is that Blue Monday isn't a real thing. It's not a research psychological phenomena. It's just a marketing ploy.
Yeah. But that said, it is a particularly low point of year, I think, for many people, isn't it?
Yeah, because there is truth in it. There's always truth in it. There is truth that it is, the weather is not, well, in the Northern Hemisphere, the weather is not that nice. And it is dreary, and you do get sort of, you can feel down, and it's important to acknowledge that. I think the first thing, if you're not feeling good, if you are feeling down, is to just acknowledge that I'm not having a good day today. And
I totally get, with long COVID, that things can feel a bit bleak because cold does affect. Both extremes affect. Both going on holiday in the hot sun affects my long COVID, but also cold affects long COVID as well. So I do totally get that. I totally get, and I get the hopelessness because everyone else is saying, "Oh, it's a new year. We're going to do all these amazing things." And then if you've got chronic illness, you think, "Well, I don't know if I could do any of those things." So you have the weather aspect of it, but also, as I was saying, you have before we're rudely interrupted by the dog, by the way, which happens on Life of Long COVID. It's real life, right? You also have the mental shift where everyone's talking about great stuff in the new year, and actually it forces you to think ahead, and when the future's a bit uncertain, that can really get you down, I think.
Exactly, yeah.
I think that is in summary of that enormous part that there was. I think it just gets you down, and I know I'm definitely feeling it. Though I'm quite elated not to have cold anymore, I'm definitely feeling like, what's this year going to bring? And money comes a lot into it. Often we have to rely on benefits, and I don't want to rely on benefits. The whole benefit system is uncertain. I reported last time about my experience with being assessed for benefit, and it just reminds you that they want to catch you out even though I've got nothing to hide. You know what I mean? And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be reliant on that system and worry throughout the whole year whether I'm not going to get any money to support us. So that is the reality of having a chronic illness this time of year. Rather than just me bang on about how hard it is, what kind of things can we do to try and look a bit more optimistically about the year ahead?
The whole year ahead, rather than just that day.
Yeah, because I think this is what feeds into it. I think the uncertainty of life with chronic illness just gets you down.
I think it's a lot of things that you say on the pod anyway, about living one day at a time and taking in, the first thing might be something like taking those small wins, if you've got up, if you've had a shower, if those are achievements, and it is hard to say because you might have been a manager of 30 people before or something like that, but it's just taking every day as a day and enjoying it, because in every day there's ups and there's downs, and if we sort of blanketly say this is a bad day or this is a bad season or everything is terrible, then it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Our brains will look for that, and it'll be like a confirmation bias. Everything will confirm that. You have to work hard at saying, well, actually, the way the light came in the kitchen window this morning, it was really beautiful.
Yeah, one of the ways I think I do that is through the podcast. So I often look back at old podcasts and think, where was I a year ago in January 2025 when I was recording this?
Yeah.
Now, of course, there'll be regular themes like fatigue, which thread throughout those things. But actually, when I was looking back at the first podcast in 2026, I was thinking I can do more things than I did back in 2025. There has been small gains throughout that year, and I have had moments throughout the year when I've really enjoyed stuff. So I think that's my way of doing it. Some people keep a journal, don't they?
But I think also the problem with chronic illness is it goes up and down, doesn't it? It's not like a trajectory of going, oh, you're getting better and better and better. Sometimes you have a period, a season, as it were, of really difficult time where you really are feeling terrible. But even in those seasons, you know, you're still a worthwhile person and you can still find the joy in everything.
Which is hard at the time, though.
But what you were saying about journaling is really important. I think something like a gratitude journal is really helpful, and people can be really flippant about that. I was like, what have I got to be grateful for? But it's like a discipline, it's like a practice. And it's easy if you're just thinking 3 things that I can be grateful for today, you know, just today.
This hour.
Or this hour.
Yeah.
And it just keeps that mind sort of not so negative and trying to look at more positive things, and that's helpful for you.
This has got me thinking. Life of long COVID, the gratitude journal could be a thing. Watch this space, ladies and gentlemen. But focused on the hour, not on the day.
Yeah, and also the big thing I should imagine is the comparison. So your cousin is, I don't know, she's got a new job and she's just booked a holiday to the Maldives. I don't know.
It's social media.
Yeah,
because everyone's like, oh, 2026 is my year.
Yeah.
I'm going to manifest all these amazing things.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, like when people do park runs, it's all about personal best. It's not about, you're not running a race against other people. This is what I love about it. You're running a race
That's interesting.
for your personal best.
Okay.
And like you were saying, you were looking at last year's pod, and you've got to be thinking about that. It's like, well, you know, what have I done today that maybe I didn't do last week, or maybe it's more difficult today. So what can I do in this circumstance?
I like that comparison to park run. So it's about. So I beat my personal best last year.
And whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, we have a laugh because I've got an Apple Watch and it tells me how many times I stand up during the day. and I've set a low bar. Like, if I stand up 7 times in a day, then it gives me a little award.
Oh, well done.
I'll get personal best in that. So it doesn't matter what it is.
No. And you can
small.
lower and higher it. So if you're having a bad season, you can make it 4 stand up, sit downs a day.
Sure. Yeah, no, I get that. So I like the idea of a park run being about you rather than a race, if you know what I mean.
You don't think about other people. They're starting from, they're in a different race. They're not anything to do with you.
And this is the problem with even social media groups built around chronic illness. Like I've been a part of a few Facebook groups and
they can be helpful.
Where they've been really helpful and have suggested things that have helped. But you also have to balance that with people saying, you know, it's awful at the moment, and they should be allowed to express that, but they also say how it is for them, and you know, you've got the temptation is to import that to yourself and think, oh well, I must feel that way as well. But you can't compare yourself with other people with chronic illnesses, because each illness is different, and the triggers and the things that affect us are very, very different, I found.
Yeah, because each body is different. You know, your whole health history is also different, and psychological things affect you as well, and it is just going to be really different for each.
Which is why I focus on how it feels rather than the nitty gritty, because I think there are some commonalities with long COVID, and we focus on those big things like fatigue, but there are lots of little secondary illnesses which are So I guess if we're going to have a New Year's resolution, which I never do, is maybe to run our own race this year.
Yeah.
Is that a good expression?
Yeah.
It's an ironic expression, I have to say, but is to plough
wheelchair
our own
race.
Go for our own personal bests and focus on those rather than think I want to be like them, who can do whatever they want wherever they can. We want to be the best version of ourselves. Because
it can work the other way if you're on those Facebook groups or whatever groups, and someone's just in bed all the time. and then you can feel guilty, and you can feel a sense of guilt or shame and say, oh, my illness isn't that bad, I managed to go to work.
Yeah.
And that's really good if you manage to go to work, but it doesn't stop you having those symptoms. It doesn't stop you having fatigue. It doesn't stop you having the pains you feel.
This is something that it kind of touches on something that I hope that my podcast and the writings and the book and all of this sort of stuff and forthcoming journal will help with, which is just not feeling alone with it, because I think because we're all at different points in this journey, experience it in so many different ways, it's very hard to look at the people around you and for them to be able to understand. So, and I think the only people that understand are really people that are going through it, whether they're having to be in bed all day or managing to survive work with it. Do you know what I mean? So I think hopefully connecting us all together helps in some way.
Yeah.
As long as that connection is a positive thing.
Well, if you take the analogy of a park run, which, like you said, is
it's incredibly
really
ironic. I like it.
Someone goes to a park run, they might run marathons every weekend, and someone might be going to a park run who's never run in their life.
Yeah.
And they're just really not fit at all, but they're going for it, for that 3 kilometres, and that's what you're all like, but you're all in the same run, or you're all in the same COVID community in the case of this.
We are a big park run together.
I think maybe we should stop saying that.
yeah.
Just imagining you and your
scooter. This is the metaphor we chose.
Cheating.
This is the metaphor you chose, so we're going with it, Rachel. We're going with it. Is there any practical tips apart from that you can give us that may help through this particularly hard time as we head into kind of through the back end of January and everything seems a bit gloomy? I mean, I don't want to put it on the spot, but is there anything else that can help?
I think, like you mentioned, actually, focusing on the next hour, not the next day or week, and that can reduce your overwhelm and fatigue as well.
Yeah.
You're just concentrating on this hour.
This moment.
So you sort of shrink in the time frame.
Yeah.
Another thing is talking about... we talked about grounding earlier, so things like soft light, reduced noise, calming textures. You've got a new heated blanket, haven't you?
I have.
And you're loving that.
Yeah.
Familiar scents, and all those things can combat low mood. Just
little
reducing
things
tension.
that reduce.
If you think about when you were a little kid, maybe like getting a blanket at night and sort of making yourself a little den. That kind of, our youngest daughter used to love making dens in her bedroom, and it's that kind of thing, making yourself your own special space where you feel calm, where you feel in control, where you your senses are calm and everything is just gentle for you.
You can retreat to that space.
Yeah.
I like that.
But in a positive way. You know, not like, oh, I'm hiding under the blanket, but I choose to be in this calming space for this moment.
Creating that space. And
you've done that, haven't you? Because I like that you mentioned your heated blanket.
No, this is one of my new purchases, ladies and gentlemen. I'm always on the lookout for things that will help, and I've noticed on social media somebody had got a heated blanket, a heated throw, and it's just the silkiest, smoothest thing ever. And it's just warm and snuggly, and I can watch TV with it around my legs. I feel like a proper old person.
Yeah.
But that's fine. And the dogs strangely like it as well. They gravitate to me.
Well, talking about dogs, if you do have a pet, I mean, not a pet goldfish, but a pet, other kind of pet.
Yeah.
That has been proven through psychological studies to help your mood, especially low mood.
I believe that.
There's a connection, the touch of another animal.
It's having someone else to love as well.
Yeah.
And be loved by them. Even though some animals probably wouldn't, but we get the impression that dogs maybe do, and cats maybe do, but they have something else to look after, and to look after you is, I think, is a lovely thing. I think it gets you out of everyday life a bit as well.
Definitely.
So yeah, okay, there's some good tips there, and I hope they're useful for you wherever you are at the moment in this long COVID journey. And you know, this long COVID journey is not just for folks who picked it up in 2021, 2022. There's people that have got COVID 6 months ago who are suffering now, and this is an illness that just keeps going. COVID hasn't gone away.
No.
As a post-viral reaction, it hasn't gone away. It's still happening. COVID rates are not enormously high at the moment, but they're still infecting people, and people are still... And there's this large body of people, I think, who have got long COVID but don't realise, and they're trying to struggle on with work, struggle on doing what they were doing before, and thinking, what is wrong with me? I just can't get going. And maybe listening to one of these or something that's been written made them think, yeah, actually, I'm not just failing. This is actually a medical thing. Because sadly, it is still a constant battle for people to get people to recognise long COVID for being an illness, being a chronic illness. It's still an ongoing slog. So thank you for joining me today, Rachel.
My pleasure.
I feel it's been mutually beneficial, and I hope it's been beneficial to you, listener. You can comment on this podcast. You have to join in the community, though. You have to go to www.lifewithlongcovid.co.uk. You can sign up there. It's free. You can choose to give a bit of money if you can afford to do so. That supports the podcast, but you can sign up free and you don't get anything less for it. You can also buy the book, Life with Long COVID, which is a year old this month. I wrote it exactly a year ago and published it in Amazon. It's there still, Life with Long COVID on Amazon if you want to buy that. But really, what makes our community is the comments, the messages that I receive. It's so lovely. It's mutually beneficial. I get to know that I'm not alone. You get to know you're not alone.
I wonder if we need to do a comment special.
Comment special would be great. I think you said this last time we were on, and we haven't got round to it yet.
No.
Or I haven't got round to it. So yeah, so what a great idea. We'll have a comment special. We'll read some of your comments out as well. So send them in. We'll read them out on the next one. Should we make that promise now?
We'll
do that. We'll do that. So it's January, and you may be feeling a bit down, but whatever you're doing this month, live in the moment, live in that space. What's happening in your next hour, in your next moment, in your next minute? What can you spot that is good around you? How can you celebrate these tiny, tiny personal bests in your metaphorical park run? And until next time, I'll see you again soon.